When we first got this assignment, it really hit home because I have been firsthand witnessed everything that we had to do the assignment over. So when we was asked to do the brochure, I was okay with the topic because, like I said, I have witnessed it firsthand. And so when I went to look up for the information that to put on the brochure, I did go to Google, but I went in and I started searching different articles and different places of all through the internet to find the different aspects of this. So something that I found interesting, the first part of my brochure I put as the issue. That is just because the first thing when parents need to open this, when children open it, they need to figure out what the issue is. So the first part was my issue, and something that really stuck out to me is that since 2012 to 2016, the number of foster care nationally rose 10% from 397,600 to 437,500. That's a big jump. And I put this picture there to show how every 25 minutes a baby is born suffering from opioid withdrawal. That is a big issue, not just in the cities, but here in the little smaller areas where I'm from. So the next part is what to look for. Adopting a child born dependent on opioid drugs can be troublesome, but here's a few signs to look for. For a newborn, the child may have a low IQ, verbal abilities. They could also be exposed to lead or other toxins. So whenever you get a newborn that has been born addicted to opioid drugs, that's some things that you have to look for if they're verbal, nonverbal, everything like that. And then at an early age, children can tend to have a lower mental ability and show signs of attention deficit disorder. So that is if a child has ADD, if they can't sit down, if they're always going around and they can't pay attention during class, that is the reason why. They could be, when they were born, could have had a dependent on opioid. School-age children at this age could have a complex cognition and self-regulation. At this age, children may also suffer from certain learning behavioral disorders. So even if a child is or was dependent on opioid drugs, even if you're going to adopt them, that's not something that you just need to not worry about, because yes, it could be something drastic. There's many different ways that you can help, and one way is get as much help for the child, whether this means first steps for the younger age children or taking the older age children to therapy, because sometimes if they can just sit down and talk to someone about it, they can have a different aspect of it. The families, you can also share your story. Even if you do adopt a child that has been dependent on opioids, you don't always need to just sit there and not tell your story, because your story could help another family that's been through it. And that's what they need through life, is just showing someone else what they need. Find a support group or a local organization that may have the group assist parents in foster care families with adopting or caring for a child that has been dependent on that. So with that, you can find different organizations that they may meet once a month, and you can just go and see and talk to other people to see how they handled any situations that they have been through. And then I also put some other resources some things that could help as well with the different issues that may come about, because they may have some learning, language or literacy issues, attention programs. Sometimes children are more aggressive when they have been dependent on opioid drugs, so that could be another resource for them to you learn how to react when they start acting up or acting out or stuff like that. Or you could also help the biological mother. You can send her to places. You can try to help with that and everything. One place I believe that my brochure should be put is probably at a social services building or a place where children and the foster families go, so if they have to have meet with a social worker, that way when they see it, it's not just your regular brochure. It's something that really could help the parents and guide them in what they need to do when they are adopting a child in this way. Another one could be in a pediatrics at doctor's offices, just because you are dealing with a child that has been dependent on a drug. They will need extra care, so this could be something that you could put there. And so and the reason I put the design like I did is because you want to get your more important information first before you do anything else. Because if you don't put the most important information first, the parent that's reading it can look at it and think, well, this is not interesting, this can't help me. But if you put your more important information and signs and stuff to look for a child, then they will look at it before they would anything else. So that's the reason why I did my brochure in the way it did. Thank you.